Good morning. This is Bob Passy. This is a second of a set of video blogs about democracy and what's going on in this country. Um, I want to talk a little bit today about what's going on in the political process and what was the plan of the establishment, or the establishment being at this point the 1%, the rich and powerful, who control almost all the levers of power in the society. So their their goal, first of all, is to make sure that they retain power, that they retain power and control of the society, so that they can continue to basically transfer wealth out of the pockets of the ordinary people and exploit what they can to become more rich and more powerful. At any rate, if they had a plan, and I just want to clarify that when the right wing has a plan, it's called a Great Business Plan to improve market share. If the left had this kind of plan to undermine the government, it would be called a conspiracy. But that's only for those people that don't agree with business. In business, all those conspiracies are really just great marketing plans. At any rate, their market plan then was to find ways to divert attention in this coming election, to be sure that we didn't really talk about income inequality and the kinds of problems, the suffering of the workers and the ordinary people in this society. So this is, I think, what they did. They said, well, why don't we have this Republican Party that's kind of, it was helpful for a while and it supported all the things we wanted to do, but now it has pandered to its base so long that the base is strong and out of control. It's a Tea Party, and they've pretty much stopped government, and they aren't even helping us. I mean, they're really hurting business by doing that. So we really don't want to have those people running our government. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow them to have to use them as a sort of pre-election entertainment. It's like pre-game entertainment or halftime entertainment at a game of some kind. And so they lined up by, what did they have, 17 people to run, and they ran them all out in their clown car, these little cars that people keep coming out of and out of and out of, and everybody laughs and applauds and thinks it's a great joke. And so the clowns took up all the attention in the early stages of this election cycle, and we were all entertained. And one of the clowns suddenly said, "Well, wait, I think I can use this to my benefit," and that was Donald Trump. And so he began to be the spokesman for the base, which is kind of Tea Party enlarged somewhat, but the base are the people who don't have any confidence in the establishment anymore. They don't have confidence in the established parties, neither Democrats or Republicans, but in this case the Republican Party, and they don't think that they're doing enough. So on the right, you had Donald Trump leading these sort of Tea Party plus people who were so frustrated with what was going on and what was not going on. And the result was then, and the media loved it, and they made him a huge candidate because they spent all their time and energy on it, which means everybody spent all their time and energy on it. Nobody could do anything except talk about Donald Trump. And so part of the reason for that is they really wanted Hillary to be the candidate that was going, and didn't ever have to talk about any real issues, because everybody was into this craziness of the clowns and eventually of Donald Trump. And eventually it turned into, well, whatever we do, we have to stop Donald Trump. I mean, to me, it was a straw dog. It was, you know, paper tiger. He's not exactly a threat, but if we focus on that, then anything will look better than Trump. So Hillary will look better than Trump. And that strategy was going to work just beautifully, uh, except then we had this person on the other end of the spectrum, Bernie Sanders, who was saying, wait, let's repurpose the Democratic Party. The Democrats have ignored their base for so long, they've exploited them basically. They've said, come and support us in these elections and we'll take care of you. And they never take care of it. They didn't do anything for unions, they don't do anything for public education, they don't do anything for the middle class, they don't do anything, certainly for the lower class. They have watched over income inequality greater than we've ever seen before. So there are a lot of Democrats and a lot of independents and a lot of people who are just saying neither of the parties are doing anything that's going to help us. And so Bernie Sanders was saying, well, let me be the voice of those people who are so disenchanted with the entire process, and let's see what happens. And now the establishment and business, the rich and powerful, did not see that one coming. And so they did everything they could. First, relatively subtly, by just not giving him any coverage. The media just pretended he didn't exist. He was having more success than Trump, but they spent all their time with Trump because they didn't want to have to deal with those. What they were trying to do was not have to deal with issues. And Bernie Sanders was dealing with issues. He's saying there's income inequality, there's health care that should be changed, there's education that should be changed, there's everything about it. We have to get the money out, and we have to confront the money in order to do that. And so he ran a campaign that basically doesn't rely on big money. Well, they can't have that. So they did everything in their power, including having people who were sort of seen as spokesmen for society lining up saying, well, we can't have, I mean, this is impractical, this can't be done. You really can't include people back in the democracy anymore because the oligarchs won't allow it. I mean, be realistic. In other words, get used to the new reality that we don't have a democracy anymore and just live with it. Get over it. The old Republican line. And there are too many people that are saying, no, we're not going to just get over it. So there is a real rising. And now, even now, you have one of the Koch brothers saying that he'd be fine with Hillary Clinton. Well, that's not a surprise to me. They always were fine with Hillary Clinton. They were hoping Hillary was going to win. She was the only reasonable person who was going to allow them to continue in the direction they were going. Trump was crazy. There was no other option until Bernie Sanders came along. Now there's an option. And now you see a kind of energy coming out of this that no one, well, certainly the rich and powerful never expected. But what it is the people of America rising and saying, it's enough. We need to stand up and take this back before the rest of what's left of it disappears. And we can do it with the vote now. And we have to do it with the vote now, or it won't be there the next time around. They will have consolidated their power, and they will have restricted the vote. So in some ways it will be more like, well, for example, we all grew up learning that in communist countries they had free elections, but you could choose between one communist or the other. Well, that's kind of where we are. So we need to show them that the ordinary people of this country are rising and saying enough, and going out there and voting, and in effect showing them that democracy is rising. and they thought they could intimidate it, but they can't. All right, thank you very much. See you later. Bye now.